if I don't change the tops, you'll keep thinking that I filmed so many in the same day. And that's because I have. So, how to find good suppliers. How do you come across one of them good suppliers that gives you some stuff that's worth selling, that's not trying to fob you off a load of shit that you can't sell? How do you find one of them? Guess what I'm going to say? Trial and error. Now, trial and error is probably the biggest thing in life, let alone in business and let alone in things where you need to fail and mess up on a few things to know what didn't work. Every day you do things and you'll be like, oh, that didn't work, so I won't do that again. And you needed to fail in order to know that. So when it comes around to finding good suppliers, you need to have the same approach. You need to know by trialing how things work. Now, Spen, I could do this an easier way if I wanted to. I could go on Trustpilot, I could read all the reviews from 10 different suppliers, I could find 5 feedbacks I didn't like from each of them, I could find 5 good ones, I could get an opinion from TikTok reviews. Yeah, you could definitely do that. You could find exactly what you want from searching. However, just a few little controversial opinions. People do buy Trustpilot reviews, so don't believe everything you read. TikTok reviews can be made from people who are paid to do that and asked, this is the real thing, influencers being asked not to put ad in the hashtag while they're doing unboxings. I'm going to call you out. I know who you are. There's a company that's done it. I'm not going to do it on this video because I'm not trying to fire shots yet, but I might do soon. So when we think about suppliers and we think about, how do I find a good one? How do I get one of these good ones? Now, the reason why I would say to trial a supplier is because you can read a review about one. You can read one about this guy who's got all the stuff you need. He's got a good, reputable price. Seems like a nice dude. He's got a website and there's photos of him going on the website. Seems legit. Yeah. But have you actually bought something from the guy? Have you had a voice note on WhatsApp from him? Have you spoke to him on the phone about anything? Like, it's not to say that all wholesalers are there to just answer you like on your beck and call and ask for like a 5-minute chat, but the most important thing is that you have your own unique experiences with all the people that you want to go into business with, because you yourself are the best version of that understanding. If I came into here when I started Gully, if I didn't do every single part, if I didn't stand there for hours steaming, if I didn't stand there for hours doing labels and like listing products, I would have no respect or understanding for how each of these things work, and I wouldn't have been able to manage the overseeing of all them individual tasks. So if you use, let's just run through some examples. Go to 5 different suppliers in this country, find out 5 suppliers that have the most minimum spend, right? Like try and find ones that have £50 minimum. I know a lot of them are about 100, some of them are like 200 and some of them are even 500. But if you find ones that are like 50, put a £250 like experience into that. 250 quid to spend on 5 different suppliers with £50 and see what you can get. But what I would say is that when you're actually looking at suppliers and going, which one is best? I know this is going to sound really random, and I've just thought it now, and I've had to think about it before I said it out loud. So just wait on this one. If you make 5 pretend top trumps. For people who don't know what top trumps are, there used to be these cards that you had as kids where you'd get like top trumps of like wrestlers, and it would have all these wrestlers cards, and it would have like strength, power, agility, and all this random stuff. Do that with suppliers. You don't have to actually make a top trump. It'd be fun though. But just do like affordability, communication, all these sort of normal things. Understand what it is that like you've ranked it, because what will happen there is that, if you read a review from somebody and they go, oh, Ian at Double Wholesale, I'm just making it up, he was a really nice guy, and everybody was saying this on the feedback, like, he's such a good communicator. But if you haven't communicated with him, is that feedback accurate to you? Because I would argue that it's not. So 5 suppliers, 50 quid a piece, or the cheapest a piece. You need to spend a little to have the right experience. Like the suppliers, I've had good experiences with suppliers when I've spent thousands of pounds. I mean, when I was spending hundreds of thousands, I was being flown out to Miami to go and look at the stock and do stuff like that. It's all relative. If you're spending little amounts, like the experience might be a bit different, but the underlying thing is accurate. You want to find a good supplier, you need to firstly ask yourself, what does a good supplier look like to me? What are my most important things I'm actually looking for from a supplier? Do I want them to reply to my messages within the same day? Do I want them to be very quick if an item goes missing? Do I want them to be good at admin if there's something I'm not happy with? You know, what am I looking for from this experience? Because that will help you find a good supplier. There's so many good suppliers out there, and it's all relative to what it is that you're actually after. Some people, I tell you right now, some people would be happy to work with an arsehole of a supplier as long as he's got the best stock, because they don't mind experiencing that. Like, and when I say arsehole, I mean with respect. Like somebody who might promise you stock and then give it to somebody else, or might say that he's got some stock and it never turns up. Again, I'm actually not talking about specific experiences. The suppliers that I've dealt with over the time, don't get me wrong, I've had some bad experiences. I've had some really bad experiences. I've had my fingers burnt a few times. But that was when I was blind buying, meeting new suppliers. But I think, look, I'm not sat here and I'm not going to advertise things like my streams, but I will mention it. So, like my tilt, what I do is like auction selling, stuff like this, it all starts at £1. You could, technically, come and bring 50 quid to me on a live stream as one of the wholesaler examples. You could like use me in that sentence if you wanted to, and you want to go, right, how good is Spen at communicating? How honest is he at what he's selling? How transparent is he with like the service he gives? You come to the live, you spend 50 quid, you might get 10 items. Each item might sell for like £15. You could make £100 gross profit. And the reason why I use me as an example is that if you're seeing this, maybe that's a good entry point, but you want to basically have these experiences with these different people. You want to try all these different suppliers so that, you know, the one thing that's great about buying stock is that, yes, once you've got it, you've got it. And if you've got some stuff that you don't like, it's not great. However, a lot of suppliers will probably sell as seen, and they, you know, I really will sit down with some suppliers soon because I want to have a conversation with how they've taken a lot of the new people that have come into the industry. Because people that were doing vintage and second-hand before understood how things worked based on the suppliers. And now there's a lot of people in the industry, you know, there can be a lot of like miscommunication or whatever. Spen, you yapping, I know, sorry. How to find a good supplier. Do that. The top trump idea, you've just got to honestly, you've got to spend a bit of cash with a few people, have the experiences, have your fingers burned, get mad, but don't get mad for too long because nothing matters that much to get that mad for too long. But have the experiences, have your experiences with them. Go and take that time to meet a guy and get a bad impression from him. And ask yourself, why don't I like this supplier? Or ask yourself, why is this supplier being so nice to me? Like, you know, don't be too naive in the industry. If someone's being too nice, they probably think they might be able to pinch some extra money off you. I'm joking. Suppliers might be like that. The ones that I've dealt with have never been like that. So, yeah. But just be open to the experiment. You've got to be open to try it out. Because if not, you just go like a little fly stuck in a pinball machine going, where's good suppliers? Where's good suppliers? Where's good suppliers? There could be loads of them. You've just not tried any of them out. Also, tip, the best suppliers are not the ones that advertise on Facebook and Instagram. They are the ones that are hidden in Google. That is a tip from me to you. Random places. Like, go and look on Gumtree. I know some of you watching right now are going, is this guy who's run a business for this long telling me to go on Gumtree to find a supplier? Yes, mate. Because you don't know who you might meet on the internet. And if it's a sponsored advert, look, the wholesalers that I used never advertised their services. And yet I built a business off of their service. So what does that tell you? It tells you that the people people that have to shout all the time probably have the loudest voices but not the loudest stock. I sound like I'm firing shots. Who am I to fire shots? Nobody's fired any shots back. No. I hope this video finds you well, guys. Honestly, I enjoy making the videos. I enjoy any feedback you have off of it. And I'm really looking forward to maybe developing some ideas a little bit more thoroughly through this year. But for now, it's going to be these little podcast conversations with your boy, breaking down some topics. As always, guys, if you've got anything you want to ask, drop a comment. If you've not got anything you want to ask, just give your thumbs up. And if you don't want to do any of them, then it was nice that you got to this point in the video. That's pretty cool. Peace.